If you've ever placed bets on BetRivers and you're finally ready to cash out your winnings, the withdrawal process is actually more straightforward than most people expect. But at the same time, there are a few important details that can slow things down or confuse users, especially if it's your first time trying to take money out. So in this guide, we're going to walk through everything step by step in a simple, clear way so you understand exactly how to withdraw your money, what options you have, how long it takes, and what mistakes to avoid so your payout doesn't get delayed. First things first, before you even think about withdrawing, you need to make sure your BetRivers account is fully verified. This is something a lot of people skip or ignore, and then they get frustrated when their withdrawal is pending for too long. Betting platforms like BetRivers are required to confirm your identity for security and legal reasons. That usually means you need to have your personal details correctly filled in, such as your full name, date of birth, and address. In some cases, they may also ask you to upload a valid ID, like a driver's license or passport, and sometimes proof of address, like a utility bill. Once your account is verified, withdrawals become much smoother and faster. Now, once you're logged into your BetRivers account, the withdrawal process usually starts from your account balance section. This is where you can clearly see how much money is available to withdraw. It's important to understand that there can be a difference between your total balance and your withdrawable balance. For example, if you still have active bets pending or bonuses that haven't met their requirements, that portion might not be available for withdrawal yet. So always check what is actually available before you try to cash out. When you're ready, you'll typically navigate to the cashier or banking section of the platform. This is the area where all deposits and withdrawals are handled. Once you open it, you should see the withdrawal option clearly displayed. When you click on withdrawal, BetRivers will show you the available methods you can use to take your money out. These options can vary depending on your location, but common ones usually include bank transfer, online banking methods, or sometimes e-wallet options if they are supported in your region. Choosing the right withdrawal method is important because it affects how fast you receive your money. For example, bank transfers are usually the most common option, but they can also take the longest time to process. On the other hand, some faster digital payment methods may process within hours or within one business day. However, not all methods are available for every user, and sometimes the method you use to deposit money is the same method you are required to withdraw with. This is a common rule in many betting platforms for security reasons. Once you select your preferred withdrawal method, you'll be asked to enter the amount you want to withdraw. This is where you should be careful. Make sure you are not entering more than your available balance. Some users try to withdraw everything, including bonus money, but if the bonus conditions are not met, the system will reject or adjust the request. So it's always better to double check your available cash balance before confirming. After entering the amount, you will usually be asked to confirm your banking details or payment information. If you've withdrawn before, this might already be saved in your account, so it becomes a simple confirmation step. But if it's your first time, you may need to input details such as your bank account number, routing information, or other payment identifiers depending on your country and method. Once everything is confirmed, you submit the withdrawal request. At this point, the system will begin processing your transaction. You'll usually receive a notification or status update saying that your withdrawal is pending. This is completely normal and does not mean anything is wrong. Most betting platforms, including BetRivers, have a short review period where they verify the transaction for security purposes. Now, the waiting time is something a lot of users get anxious about, but it really depends on the method you selected. Some withdrawals are processed within a few hours, while others may take 1 to 3 business days. In rare cases, especially during weekends or holidays, it can take slightly longer. Bank processing times also play a role, meaning even if BetRivers approves a withdrawal quickly, your bank might still take additional time to reflect the funds in your account. If your withdrawal takes longer than expected, the first thing you should do is check the status inside your BetRivers account. It will usually show whether the request is still pending, approved, or completed. If it's still pending, it usually just means it's in the processing queue. If it's approved but you haven't received the money, then the delay is likely on the bank or payment provider side. Another important thing to understand is that BetRivers may sometimes place additional security checks on withdrawals, especially large ones or first-time withdrawals. This is not something to worry about, it's simply part of their fraud prevention system. In such cases, they might ask you to verify your identity again or confirm your payment method. Once that is completed, your withdrawal is released. It's also worth noting that bonuses can affect your ability to withdraw. If you accepted a promotional bonus at any point, there are usually wagering requirements attached. That means you must bet a certain amount before the bonus money becomes withdrawable. Many users get confused when they see a high balance but cannot withdraw everything. In most cases, it's because part of the balance is still locked as bonus funds. Now, let's talk about common mistakes that people make when trying to withdraw from BetRivers. One of the biggest mistakes is entering incorrect banking details. Even a small error in your account number or routing information can delay your withdrawal significantly or cause it to fail. Another mistake is trying to withdraw before completing verification. This almost always leads to delays or rejection. Some users also try to switch withdrawal methods too often. This can trigger extra security reviews because the system sees it as unusual activity. It's usually best to stick to the same method you used for depositing whenever possible. If your withdrawal gets rejected, don't panic. The platform will usually give a reason, and in most cases, it's something simple like incomplete verification, incorrect details, or unmet bonus conditions. Fixing the issue and resubmitting the request usually solves the problem quickly. Another thing you should know is that there may be withdrawal limits. BetRivers can have minimum and maximum withdrawal amounts depending on the method. So if you're trying to withdraw a very small amount or a very large amount, you might need to adjust it or split it into multiple transactions. Security is also a big part of the process. Every withdrawal is protected with encryption and account verification steps to ensure that only the rightful owner of the account can access the funds. That's why sometimes you might be asked to log in again, confirm your identity, or approve a code sent to your email or phone. If you're withdrawing for the first time, the process might feel slow or strict. But once your account is fully verified and you've completed one successful withdrawal, future withdrawals usually become much faster and smoother. The system starts recognizing your account as trusted, which reduces additional checks. In some cases, users also wonder if they can cancel a withdrawal after submitting it. On many platforms, including BetRivers, this is sometimes possible only if the request is still in pending status. Once it has been approved or processed, cancellation is usually no longer an option, and you would need to wait for the funds to arrive. Finally, the best way to ensure a smooth withdrawal experience is to plan ahead. Make sure your account is verified before you even start playing. Double check your payment details, understand any bonus conditions you accept, and always keep track of your transaction status. When everything is set up correctly, withdrawing money becomes a simple process that doesn't require stress or confusion. So in summary, withdrawing from BetRivers is not complicated, but it does require attention to detail. From verification to selecting the right payment method to understanding processing times and bonus rules, every step plays a role in how fast you receive your money. Once you understand how it works, the process becomes very routine and predictable, and you can focus more on your experience rather than worrying about delays or issues.